We've
Welcome
seen
back,
snow
everybody.
coming down in all parts of different parishes: St. Charles, St. James, St. John, Assumption, Orleans, Jefferson, and St. Tammany parishes.
Yes.
So everyone getting ready, prepared as we enter into the evening hours, which is when that snow will probably start to turn into some ice.
Yes. Now, initially in this winter storm event, we were hearing that between 11 and 4 were the times when we were going to see the greatest accumulation.
Right.
That seems to be holding true.
Right.
Our forecasters did a really fantastic job of predicting what was going to happen, even though we didn't really believe them.
No.
Because we've never seen this in the
No.
history of the city of New Orleans. So you can see that's a live picture out there right now. That's the roadways headed into, some of the river parishes. And we do have one of the parish presidents joining us by phone in St. Charles Parish, Matt Jewell, joining us to give us the latest there. President Jewell, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. How are things in St. Charles? Are people staying home? You guys getting a lot of reports of accidents?
We have gotten some reports of some accidents, and we have crews responding to those. But for the most part, people are heeding the warning to stay off the roads. There's just no sense in going on them in the condition that they're in. Snow is still falling pretty heavily right now, especially at least in Luling. I kind of asked the folks in the parish to send me the snow totals that they're seeing. We really are seeing about 8 inches across the parish. Some folks are showing as high as 10 or 11 inches just from sticking a ruler into the ground. So maybe not the most accurate way, probably not how the National Weather Service would do it, but it's a lot of snow nonetheless.
Yeah, that's incredible. We're taking a live picture right now of part of the interstate headed into St. Charles. I
Yeah.
think that's I-310 headed into
covered in snow.
Yeah, it is just completely covered in snow. Obviously, you all have that shut down. There are a lot of other areas in St. Charles that are shut down at this point.
Yeah, so the Hailbox Bridge is closed. The Highway 90 bridge over by DeSalmons has been closed. Pretty much all of Highway 90 on the west bank, on the west bank of St. Charles from Avondale through the parish line in DeSalmons is closed. We know that that there are sections of Airline Highway closed, and then we know we had a small power outage in Booty from a blown fuse that should have been restored by now. But yeah, a lot going on. But what I like to see and what I see out the window is a lot of people playing with their kids and kids having fun. Ready for it to melt, though. We're ready to get back to normal.
I know that, right now we say that this is the fun phase where everyone is kind of having a good time and they're outside having their snowball fights and they're going sledding the best way that they can.
Yes.
Wherever they are. But obviously, as day goes into night, that's when temperatures start to drop even more. Things get a little bit more difficult. Did you guys interact and did you have any curfews, or are you telling people to stay home at night, or what are your plans as far as imposing a curfew maybe tomorrow?
So we are we're working with all of our partners, our sheriff's office, our fire department, all those folks. If we initiate a curfew, we don't have one at the time, but if we do initiate one, we will send out some messaging to the residents on that. Again, we're asking to stay off the road. You guys mentioned it. The temperatures are really going to dip down low tonight, and that's going to cause some really icy conditions on roads. So if you can think about the condition of the roads now, but actually worse tonight, that's what it's going to be like. So we really just are encouraging folks to stay home, stay off the roads, and call the EOC at 985-783-5050. If you need anything, if you have an emergency, obviously continue to use 911.
Have you heard anything from the fire department about any fires or anything that they've had to respond to?
None that I've heard of recently. Other accidents that we've had in the parish, I know there was a vehicle that struck a fire hydrant, and we had crews to go check out and assess that fire hydrant to make sure it wasn't leaking. I know that we've had some folks slide into ditches in various places, and an alert was sent out, I think, across southeast Louisiana by the state that the number of vehicle accidents that police and state police were responding to had increased. Just encouraging people again to stay off the roads.
Well, you can see in this live picture on people's screen right now, there is a blanket of snow on the roadways, especially those in St. Charles Parish, where people have been kept off the roads for some time now. Another issue that we see, and we've heard from other parishes, is utility problems, whether that be power, whether that be water. Any problems with that in St. Charles so far, and any warnings for people?
Yeah, it looks like power and water are good. I just looked at the Entergy outage map, and everything is just showing green for us here in St. Charles Parish. And currently we have no issues at our water plant. Obviously, we know as temperatures dip down low tonight, and people may choose to run water, that could have an effect on our ability to keep up with the amount of water going out into the system as far as how fast we can process it. But if we have to issue any type of, reports to tell people to slow their water usage, we'll do that. But right now, everything's good, and we're going to stay on top of it.
Okay, so people are okay to run that trickle of water to try and avoid having their pipes burst. I know that's a huge concern and a huge cost for people whenever it does happen. So people are in the clear in St. Charles Parish on that front. Anything else that you want to let people know as we move through the evening and into the night?
Again, I think the best thing we can do right now is encourage people just to stay off the roads. When it becomes safe to do so, we will utilize whatever equipment we have in Public Works to try to test out our ability to get some of the snow and ice off the roads. Obviously, that's not something that we're accustomed to. Yeah. We don't want to create a larger issue with damaging our roadways or anything else. So it's going to be a little bit of a trial and error when we're able to get out and start that process. So we just ask residents to be patient with us as we do our best.
All right, lots of school closures and things, I assume, government closures for tomorrow as well?
Yeah, Wednesday, government buildings are closed, the school is out, all court dates and everything have been postponed. You can find all that information on our website, stcharlesparish.gov, or you can go to our Facebook, St. Charles Parish Government, and find that information there. Okay,
great. And I know we have all of that linked on our website as well, so lots of resources for people out there. President Jewell, thanks so much for being with us this afternoon. We'll check back in as this situation continues to unfold.
Thanks for having me.
And